In today's society, everything moves fast. When it comes to technology, theories, and time, everything seems to be moving at a pace faster than we have ever seen. This high-speed world that we live in is now the new norm. We expect our text messages to arrive instantaneously, our food to be served in 5 minutes or less, and our online orders to be at our front doorstep the next day. And although in some aspects speed is not just preferred but expected, speed can also lead to dangerous after effects. Climate change is one example. According to NASA's official website, climate change can be defined as a broad range of global phenomena created predominantly by the burning of fossil fuels, which add heat-trapping gases to Earth's atmosphere. The speed at which climate change is developing before our eyes is uncanny. However, while most people believe that climate change is a serious issue, others can't help but disagree. According to the UN climate reports, the fate of civilization is at stake if we do not act soon, and it estimates that several hundreds of millions of people will be affected. But at the end of the day, why is there climate change denial, especially when there's research and evidence to back it up? According to Riley Dunlap and Eric Mikwright in Chapter 10 of the Oxford Handbook of Climate Change and Society, one of the main stances that the opposition has is that the government has not made climate change an issue, and therefore it is not something that the American people should worry about. Now, in a sense, that does make sense. So in terms of an analogy, let's say that the government are your parents and the American people are you. Now let's say you ask your parents if they are worried about you graduating high school. They say no because at the end of the day, it'll all work out and you'll graduate. So since they aren't worried, you don't worry, and you go about your day studying for tests, doing your homework, making A's and B's, and in the end, you graduate. This is what the opposition believe in terms of the government's view on climate change, that in the end, it will all work itself out. What they fail to realize is that there is much more that meets the eye. If we go back to the analogy, your parents tell you that they aren't worried about you graduating, and that's because they are much more worried about other things, like their financial situation, their jobs, the family. They are worried about problems that they are having now, and not problems that they might have in the future. The government has not worried about climate change in the past. But now, since it is a more fast-approaching problem, they've decided to take action. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is one of the leaders in the development of the Green New Deal. According to the Green Party website, the Green New Deal will, quote, convert the decaying fossil fuel economy into a new green economy that is environmentally sustainable, economically secure, and socially just. The whole idea of the Green New Deal is to not only reduce our environmental impact, but also benefit our economy. Now, it is still in the works as Democrats and Republicans are butting heads, but the fact that there is a conversation around climate change just proves that it is in fact an issue. Opposition claims that the rising temperatures are normal because climate experiences high and low periods. However, as scientists have explained again and again, these rising temperatures are anything but normal. Because of the large amounts of carbon dioxide that is emitted through the burning of fossil fuels, the overall temperature of the world has increased. NASA reports that the overall world climate has increased by about 2.5 degrees Fahrenheit and is continuing to rise. The opposition also claims that there's no uniformity in the science community about this issue. However, NASA reports that 97% of climate scientists agree of the severity of the issue. NASA also reports a list of accredited associations that believe that climate change is a true issue. This issue has a reach far beyond the science community. Greta Thunberg, a 16-year-old Swedish high school student and climate activist, led one of the first school strikes against climate change last summer and has brought a lot of attention to the issue. She spoke at the UN Climate Change Conference about her efforts.
We cannot solve a crisis without treating it as a crisis. We need to keep the fossil fuels in the ground, and we need to focus on equity. And if solutions within this system are so impossible to find, then maybe we should change the system itself. We have not come here to beg world leaders to care. You have ignored us in the past and you will ignore us again. We have run out of excuses and we are running out of time. We have come here to let you know that change is coming, whether you like it or not.
In conclusion, climate change is a real issue that we need to solve as soon as we can. The science community has shown again and again that the rising temperatures are alarming, and people from all ages and backgrounds are trying to alleviate this problem. This fast approaching issue must be tended to. And at this point, the last thing that we need to be is patient.